Welcome to Same Script, Different Cast, Cut to Act 1. I'm your host, Seenit. Cut to Act 1 is an extension of the SSD podcast. I typically do that with Wikipedia Plot Reader and Movie Pop-Up. Today I'm going to talk about American Horror Story, Season 9. So we're on Episode 2. So from episode 1, I did bring up the stranger is probably from a different time period, and he is. We find that out in this episode. I don't know if I thought Jingly Man was set up in the last review, but yeah, he's a straight up killer. That's for real in this episode. I have no feelings towards him. He's a killer, and I don't know how this whole season's gonna play out because it's 10 episodes. We are on 2, and I feel like we're kind of hitting the climax in this. So this episode starts off with female Dr. Loomis. So she rolls up into the camp. So I don't know how she knew to go to the camp. Oh yeah, because she saw the woman's, Margaret's face circled when she went into the room. So she went up to the camp. Okay, but she's by herself. She didn't think to say, hey, what's up, deputies? Can you come with me? I'm going to go to this dark camp where I think this mass murderer is going to go. Would you mind tagging along with me? She didn't do that. She went up there by herself because she said she couldn't reach Margaret on the phone. Okay, whatever. So she gets up there. Knock, knock. Margaret, are you in here? Walking through the house. Margaret, are you here? Margaret pops out. And female Loomis says, I've been trying to call you. And Margaret's all, okay, that's cool, but what brings you here where you had to see me in person? Who are you, lady? Female Loomis tells Margaret, you need to shut this camp down. Ben is out. Ben, Rufa, whatever. Jingly Man, he's out. Close it down. And Margaret is I'm not closing down anything. I'm not going to be a victim. I'm not going to let him take this power from me. We're going to stay open. But thank you so much, sweetheart, for coming out here and letting me know. I have a gun. I'm good. You can call the cops if you want, but just know that I'm good. So female Loomis is like, oh, well, deuces. I'm going to get the hell out of here. And she leaves. So as female Loomis is driving off, she gets a flat tire. And I did yell out, oh, shit, when she got the flat tire. She wasn't meant to live. She notices that there's a tow truck behind her, but it seems suspicious. So she doesn't begin to calm down until she sees yellow lights. Like the yellow lights mean I'm safe. Beep beep means it's all good. So that's what happened. Beep beep, it's all good. Yellow lights, she's safe. So she thinks. She puts down her window and she yells out, I think it's the tire. I have a flat tire. And so the guy comes up and she starts to hear the jingling. And so that's she's like, oh no, and puts her window back up because that's gonna work. Jingly pulls out whatever it was that slashed her tire, which looked like a shooting star, goes around to her driver's side. They have a conversation back and forth. I know you and you know me. That's what it was. And he takes the shooting star, hits the window, flings her out. She has no type of defense. She's just taking it. She's not fighting. It's fight or flight. She did not fight. She did not flight. She just took all the beating, all of it. Even, when she was in the car, just grab for something. I don't know, a cotton ball. I don't know, a glass, your keys. Put your keys, yes, in your hand. There's a way that you can put your keys in your hand and make it like a knife, make it like a shank. She didn't do any of that. She's gone. She's dead. He slices her with the shooting star. That's what it is. And so then we cut to, we're back at the cabin with Brooke. They're all just chilling, drinking beer. It's all the camp folks, the same folks from the first episode. On the news, she sees that there was a murder at the gas station. And she's like, everybody, did y'all hear that? That's at the gas station. That's the gas station where we just were. And they're like, oh, look at that. So Wendy's commercial. What's all the beef? So they're totally oblivious. They don't even know about the news broadcast. Margaret comes in. She puts all the boys out because it's past that time. So they all leave. But before they go, Brooke does tell Margaret, we are in danger. Like, and goes, Molly, you in danger, girl. So she tries to warn her, but that doesn't work. But it should be known that Brooke does tell everyone that the person that was at the gas station could be the Night Stalker coming to get me, but everyone totally dismisses her. After all the guys leave and Margaret, Montana tries to give Brooke a pep talk to make her feel better, saying a shadow is just a shadow. And Brooke tells Montana about this horrible wedding from the previous year. So we cut to the wedding, and it's Brooke and her fiance, Joey. While they're saying right before they say their vows or saying that I do, Joey accuses Brooke of having sex with one of his best men, Sam. He's basically, you don't love me, girl. And shoots Sam, shoots Brooke's dad, and then shoots himself. But before he shoots himself, he says, look what you made me do. And then he does it. And when we cut back to Brooke talking to Montana, I just thought Montana was going to say, I guess you dodged that bullet. Since they're doing all the puns, this is a show, they do their little stuff, but Brooke talks about how nobody believes her, and she just feels just horrible, I guess. I mean, nobody believes her, and she's like, I can't be crazy. I know I'm seeing these things. And then not reading the room. Montana goes in for a kiss, and Brooke is all, yeah, I gotta get out of here. I need some air. But, yeah, take care. Now we're back with the guys. They are on their way to the shower because how everything is set up, the guys have to take showers at night, and the women can take them during the day. So as they're going, the guys are talking about the five senses. If there was one that you wouldn't have, which one would it be? Ray said smell. And I don't know who brought it up. It's like, well, then you can never smell bacon. That's a real problem. Bacon is delicious. It smells heavenly and tastes even better. So the guys get to the showers. Xavier's like, but there's no hand sanitizer. Nope, that wasn't out back then. There are no little soaps and there are no towels. And he's like, well, damn, I gotta walk back so I can get my beach towel and I'll be back. Then Margaret turns off all the power, all the lights. She did mention this when she was in the cabin with everyone before she told the guys to leave. In 20 minutes, she's shutting shit down. And she did it. She really meant lights out. While Xavier is going back to get his towel, he actually gets snatched up. I thought he got snatched up by one of the killers, but it was by this guy named Blake, who appears to be his pimp of some sort, because Xavier has done gay porno. He had his address at the camp. He left that with his job at the aerobics place. All his stuff is being forwarded there, and that's how the pimp, Blake, found him. So he's actually threatened. Blake is threatening Xavier, saying that he's going to send copies to like his mom and his friends and everyone of the gay porno that he did. And Xavier's like, I'm not gay. I guess Xavier, he got into some stuff. Maybe Blake gave him money, put him up in a house or something because he feels like he owes Blake something. He offers him, hey, I know someone who has a big thing. I can show you. He can take my place. I mean, and we'll all come out on top on it. So then we cut to the shower where there's Chet, Ray, and Trevor. Drip dropping, drippity drip, and Blake is looking through some sort of a keyhole or something, spying on them. He sees Trevor's ding-a-lang, and he gets excited. Yes, this is my new star. I got the movie. Yeah, it's about to go down. And Xavier's right behind him, and he's just like, I can't even. And he backs up and he walks away while Blake is still watching the guys in the shower. Then Blake is killed with some type of fire poker, long stick through the face. And it comes out through the hole that he was peeking through. Cut to Brooke. So she walked all the way to the pier. She's just chilling there. Her feet dangling, but her feet hit something. She's like, what did I hit with my feet? Oh, a dead body. And so she screams. She gets up. She turns around. It's a Night Stalker. How'd you find me? Satan lets me find you. They struggle. She hits him with a board, and then he starts chasing her. He almost gets her, but then the stranger is back. I was like, what the hell is going on? The stranger tackles him and says, you're not supposed to be here. The Night Stalker kills the stranger, like slices him open. He falls down. And then the Night Stalker slits the stranger's throat. Cut to the nurse who is jumping for her love. Jingles saunters in and end the scene. Brooke runs to the phone, it's dead, and she runs into Montana and tells her that she can't dial 911. Cut back to the stranger. He says, you're not supposed to be here. It's like, how are you alive? And he kills him again. And this time the Night Stalker takes his badge, which says 1970 camp counselor. He looks back and the strangers disappeared. Cut back to Brooke in Montana. They hear Ray scream. They rush over to him, and then we cut back to why Ray is screaming. And so it is Chet, Trevor, who come over. They see him, and they're like, what happened? He keeps saying, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. Sorry, Lord, take your name in vain. But he keeps saying that over and over again. They all see the man that was peeping with this pole thing going straight through his head. Ray checks his pulse. Yeah, he's definitely gone. Brooke, Montana, and Xavier come over now. They're talking about the Night Stalker. He's here. Did he do this? And then Trevor looks at the body and says, I don't know, because the ear is missing. And they're like, we got to go. Everybody is in consensus. We have to leave now. Let's go to the van. So they all head to the van. Cut back to the cabin of Mary Margaret. She comes back, and the Night Stalker is actually there. And he confronts her and says, you need to tell me about this. She says that she's a Christian, and he says he worships the other Son of God. So that's their connection, I suppose. So they talk about this camper, and Night Stalker tells Margaret, I've killed this guy twice, but he keeps coming back. How? And she says, it's Jesus. Throughout this scene, I have to say that initially I just thought that Mary Margaret wanted to redeem the Night Stalker. Like she felt like she could, quote unquote, save him. But during this time, we do get his backstory. His mom inhaled fumes while he was in the womb. He grew up with health issues. He had seizures. His uncle looked out for him. So we know from this scene, it's like everything happened for a reason. Like he was brought to this camp for a reason. She survived the attack that Jingles had years ago for a reason. Another part that I got out of this was, I feel like Mary Margaret was saying, you can do bad stuff if it's in God's work. And that reminded me of the movie Frailty with Matthew McConaughey. He was God's hands killer because he was these regular people. He felt that God was revealing that they were demons, and so he was killing them. So that's what this reminded me of. But Mary Margaret was like, but you gotta chill. There have been way too many murders on this camp. So if you could just like not murder anymore, that would be so awesome. And that's, yeah. Cut back to the camp counselors who are trying to get the fuck out of Dodge, and it doesn't start. Then it does, and they're all super excited. They're in the van, they're about to get out of here. They're driving, and then they crash into another car after swerving to hit the nurse who darted out. So it looks like the nurse was cut somewhere in her upper arm by Jingly. In this car part, it also makes me think of the movie Scream, when Gail Weathers was trying to get away in the news van and she swerves to miss Sidney Prescott, and then she goes into a tree. Trying to get away with the van also reminds me of Friday the 13th game that's on PC. I know it's on stream. It's probably on other devices as well. But your goal is to get a car, get the people in, and then drive out of there so Jason doesn't get you. That's pretty cool. Okay, so they have no car right now. When they crashed the car, it was into Mary Margaret's car, so that's done. So they have to devise an escape plan. They need vehicles. So the nurse says she has a car. It won't fit everybody, a few people, but she has the keys, but they're back at the infirmary. Trevor says, I have a bike, but the keys are back at the cabin. So they agree to split up into two groups, not leaving anyone behind, to go get these keys so they can get out of there. Somehow, Margaret is just walking along and she finds a stranger. His name is Jonas. They recognize each other. He must be some type of a ghost or something, but she asks him, what did you see? Now, he talks about what he saw that night, all the blood, all the carnage, and he says that he ran from Jingly, but then he was hit by a car. And Mary Margaret, she specifically asked, did you see him? He said, no, but I heard him. And so when he does the flashbacks, we don't see him either. We just see somebody get out of the car, hit him with an axe or something heavy. That's all we see. So we don't know if that was Jingly. I'm really feeling like it's another player in this. I don't know if it's Mary Margaret. Is that Jingli's daughter that he had when he got back from Vietnam? I don't know. But Jonas, we learn that the stranger, Jonas, he sees himself as a coward. So it could be that he continues to relive this night as a way to redeem himself. I don't know if that's true, but it's a possibility. So now we're cutting back to the two sets of counselors. We have one group that they're in the infirmary, they're searching for the keys, and then we have the folks at the cabin. So at the infirmary is Brooke, Chet, Ray, and the nurse. At the cabin, we have Trevor, Xavier, Montana. Trevor gets the keys. Xavier confesses that he knew the dead man. He knew Blake, and he's blaming himself. It's like, if I didn't come out here, then Blake wouldn't have come out here and he would still be alive. So he feels that guilt. And he keeps talking about how he just wanted to get away. He just wanted to get the fresh air. So it looks like the killer split up, because at the end of this episode, you hear someone knocking on the infirmary door and also the cabin. So I'm thinking that at the infirmary, that's Jingli. At the cabin, that is the Night Stalker. But Mary Margaret already said, please don't kill anyone else. So I don't know if the Night Stalker is going to try to kill Jingli, because maybe he sees, because it seems like the Night Stalker and Margaret had some sort of a connection in the cabin. So we'll see what happens. So thank you so much for joining me. This was a really great episode. I have so many other questions. Some were answered, but it's truly intriguing. And I'm out.
I think